It's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lemmy Moore. I'm not ready for this, but I thought I need to get on here real quick and spread some good news. Hey, let me tell you something. We're talking about generational curses because it's real, folks. It's real. Why do, let's say, if you're 35 to 50 or 60 years old, unless you're a millionaire or billionaire, think about this. Why are you broke? This is not a financial video. Stick with me. Why are people having a hard time paying their bills at 40, 50, 60, even 30? Do you realize that, and some of y'all are going to argue with this, and I get it. Do you realize that you make probably 3 times more, sometimes 5 times more than your grandparents, your grandparents, your mom and dad, your uncles and aunts, unless they struck gold but do you realize you make more than them? Why are people having issues? I believe it's a generational curse, and it's not like one of those voodoo things. I think it's a system that we've been launched into. I remember when I was younger, I would say, Mama, I want this. She would say, no, we can't afford it. All right. I'll be with grandma or grandpa. Hey, can I get this? No, we can't afford it. Come on, the 60s, and I wasn't born in the 60s. Don't get it twisted. In the 70s, think about this. A gallon of gas back then was like 25 cents. Today, as we speak, I know it's going up because it's spring break. It is March the 7th, 2024. Gas is like $3.10 already in Oklahoma. Okay, because I traveled to Oklahoma City yesterday. When I hear people say that I'm broke now, I don't have money for this and this and that, I'm like, man, I used to be that way. I used to be that way too. And I realized something. Sometimes I think we're buying stuff that we don't need. And that's not helping our future, our younger generation, because we need to take that younger generation right now and lift them up and get them to a point where they're thinking differently. Not that they can't afford it, but how can they pay for this? You know what I mean? There's a lot of them out there who are needing guidance. And if we could just grab one youngster at a time and show them there are many ways to get them off of that generational curse rock. I know when I was younger, my next door neighbor we called him Uncle Chuck. Loved that guy to death. In order now, there's other friends of mine who would go out and get themselves in trouble because back in the day, to get yourself in trouble, you cruised on certain streets. All you did was cruise and you look at the girls, you look at the guys, and that was it. You go to the mall, you're walking. Now, if someone sees this in the future, they're going to go, what is a mall? And they're going to say, people actually went to a mall and walked around. Yes, my friends, they did that. They did that, you know. Anyway, walked to the mall, and all you had to do was either you were there to communicate or cause trouble. I was there to communicate, obviously, not cause trouble. But back to my Uncle Chuck, next door neighbor of my grandma's house. He built a playhouse with us. He built a game room for us. And it was the best thing ever. He didn't invest in his kids. He invested in the neighborhood. And let me tell you how smart this man is. He had recently got divorced, and he was a Taco Bell manager at the time. That was big. And I'm not big into race and all that, you know, like, oh, he's black, he blah, blah, black people need this and that. That's not me, you know, because I lived a great life. Love my life. Go back and do it again. But Uncle Chuck at the time was a black man who was a Taco Bell manager in the 80s, which was good, making good money. understand, he added on to his home. He built this playground, this playroom for us, ping pong tables, we had video games, you name it. And he said, I'm building this for you guys. I don't care how many friends you bring in. But while I'm at work, you're going to clean our house. And when I get home, this house better be clean. And I'm going to go in here and lay down and go to sleep. Do not leave the house. Stay here. Enjoy yourself. Oh, my God. People, you're not listening to me. This is a good one today. You see, he didn't do this for his kids. He did this for the neighborhood. We had like probably 30 people. Out of all those 30 people, only 10 were left because, yes, some went to jail. Some didn't want to follow the rules. They just didn't get it. They didn't get it. And you got to understand, he was invested in our future. He knew what the generation was around him. What was Uncle Chuck doing? He was breaking that generational curse for us. Had not Uncle Chuck been in my life, I wouldn't be here today talking to you. Think about that. That's deep, isn't it? It runs deep. It starts with somebody. That's not my daddy. He's not even my real uncle, but he's Uncle Chuck. If I needed him, he would call. And guess what? His real nephew followed his footsteps in the K-Mac industry. And I'm going to call him out. Joseph, I hope you watching this. Joseph. Josephy, that's what we call him, because I'm going to keep it real. You guys are like, these are real characters. Yeah, they're real characters. Now runs a region of Taco Bells and the new, what's that new drink? It's the competition of Starbucks. I forgot. But it started in Northwest Arkansas. And he's doing fabulous. What is he doing? He's doing the exact same thing for his kids that Uncle Chuck did for us. So I'm here to tell you today, if you got children in your neighborhood, or like we're starting some type of foundation, I don't care what it is, it's just in my heart. I've got to help some of these kids. Like my guy Carson, there's a guy named Carson Williams here on YouTube. Fabulous videos. I've got to figure out, I'm learning this myself. I mean, yeah, granted, I do have one of these and all that, but this means nothing, okay? Let me tell you, it means nothing if I can't share knowledge to people that are trying to build themselves, because this is the future here, folks. Let me tell you something. I see friends on Tubi. I see friends on Prime, Freevee, now because of YouTube. Yeah, that's right. YouTubers are on TV. I mentioned this about 5 maybe months ago that YouTubers are going to be the future. Families are going to sit down and watch shows like this together on television. Now, it's up to the children now. Because if the children can jump into this right now, notice I said 5 times more, we're making 5 times more than our parents. If the guys right now, the future, and I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you old cats right now, but I want you to be involved or think about this, because you can help by encouraging them to start learning AI, start learning YouTube, start learning marketing, start learning video, because the opportunity is so important. I'm going to a Grow Live event in Las Vegas on April 24th and 26th. I saw that. I was scrolling the other day and I said, I need to go to that. Every event with video that comes up, I need to go to that. Why? Because once I got this, I want a gold one. I want 5 more of these, because I want to be able to learn the system. Now, the system changes. Understand, when I was doing marketing back in the day, I used to do YouTube marketing a long time ago. What's YouTube marketing, Lim? Oh, well, I could put a video online for my clients, and when people look up like plumbers, a video of their plumbing business will come on the first page. That's what we used to do back then. You see what I'm saying? It's not like that anymore. It's changed. People want social media throughout TikTok, Instagram, Reels. So it's important for us to learn that and teach our young ones. So as we go into this day and time, I believe generational curses has hindered a lot of people. We've been told we can't do this. I had a teacher back in the day, I did a video back in the day that said that I would never, ever, I won't have a calculator with me all my life or any time of my life. Not only me, you can't use your fingers, you can't use your calculator, you got to use your brain. I get that. But come on, man. That teacher, I love her to death, and she was wrong. I mean, she was wrong because you know what? There's calculators on our phone, on our watch. We got to watch out what we're telling these young folks. There's a lot of stuff I get into, but I don't want to do that. But we've got to learn how to break the generational curse. And that's by helping younger people right now grow, encouraging them. Instead of taking them to summer school, take them to a business camp, an AI camp. I know that's deep. This video will probably only get maybe 6 or 7 views. I don't care because I want to make sure I touch those 6 or 7 people. Those 6 or 7 people can touch 6 or 7 people, and those 6 or 7 people can touch it. Before you know it, there's thousands of people that have been touched by this video that will help someone in need who's living at a trailer park. Understand, I live in an area right now. Thank God we got a farm. So lucky. My life is so blessed. And it started with Uncle Chuck. I've always looked for opportunities. I've never stopped. Even when they said, let me go clean the parking lot. You know what I said? I said, you know what? I'm going to clean this parking lot. It's going to be the best parking lot. I'm going to be the best parking lot cleaner in my life. And when people would come inside and go, man, do y'all ever have a dirty parking lot? That's all I needed to hear. I needed to hear that from one person to change my thought process. You see, I know there's a lot of hard work we got to do in life, but you know what? It takes a little hard work. But I think it's important for us to share that with our young children. Like my kids they all have visions. I have one who's a doctor. Bless her heart. I got a girl who's working for Uber Freight, but she has her redesign business as well. I got a kid who just got out of playing basketball for college. He's taking a break, but he's like, I either want to pursue marketing or I'm going to start preaching. All right. I have a kid right now who is in film school. He loves horror movies. He loves horror movies. You can ask him any type of old school horror movie. The dude knows it. I said, what do you want to do when you grow up? I don't know, man, I'm going to create some horror movies. And I said, you better make sure if you create a horror movie, do not create one of those horror movies where it's so dark you can't see anything, because I can't stand that. So help me, God. You see, it's important to lift them up. There's a guy on here, like I said, Carson Williams. Carson, if you're watching this, man, you got a lot of time. Stick with it. There are guys I've met at these little YouTube events who the parents said, you're just playing video games all day long. You're not going to be able to grow up and play video games all your life. Think about this. And some of y'all might not know this, but those guys that those parents hounded, we sat in a room, standing room only, with some guys, some video gamers, at a YouTube event. They were talking about they had 75 employees. They were 14, they were 15, and they were 16. 75 employees. You're talking about they're making money with merchandise, accounts, email marketing. things are changing. We must invest in our future. And if you're a kid and you're watching this, you pay attention because you are the future. We need you in the White House. I don't ever talk politics, and I'm not today. But this is what I believe was wrong with the White House. And my mother-in-law, she's big time. She loves politics, man. You can talk politics 24/7 to her, and she will not sleep. The problem with the White House is we have way too many old people in there. I can say that. I'm an old person. This morning, my wife said, your AARP card came in, kind of being funny. It was a joke. But that is the problem, I believe, with the White House. There's too many old people in there. They're making too many wrong decisions. They don't understand the importance of our generation that needs opportunities. I know this. All right, I'm done with that. That being said, watch what you say to our younger ones, because it's so important to break the curse that they are. I mean, my thinking, it's not going to be the same as my child's thinking, but I'm trying to make sure it's good for them as far as the future wise, because if people don't have money now in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and there's an opportunity to make tens and thousands of dollars a month for these young ones, where they get their tens of thousands of dollars and they can't really do anything with it, or they can't harness it. I mean, that's just a loop. We do not want to keep that loop going. We got to break the cycle. Don't forget, to all you guys, I love you.